Connect. Let me try to reconnect here. Oh, I started a minute early. Still showing upcoming. So am I live, guys? Still showing a live that's not here. Here we go. Oh, I got it. All right, we're in action here. And so, all right, Rob Smith. It is April the 13th, 2025. Sounding more like the old lives we did all the time. Just a little closer, at least. Okay. I'm going to take Mr. Dennis Waterman. I'm going to toss him in the. I'm going to toss that man in the water. I've already got a pen. I think I have this a little further away from me than I had. Let me see if I can just realize the mic is not close enough. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm not sure. Here we are. Hopefully, as I do these, we'll see more activity as we come in. I know I've been disconnected for quite a while. I can't see anything more than I see here. That's not good. So let me get in a little further than I have. Oh, I see string. All right. No, still not seeing it. I have a second screen. I don't have the connection is my problem. Right now, I've lost the chat area. Here we go. Open panel. There we go. All right, so let's. As I've been doing, I tend to, before I do a live, I try to have a exchange with somebody beforehand. In this case, it was my stepdaughter Amber, and she mentioned she's in North Carolina, Mount Airy, or actually Pilot Mountain. She works in Mount Airy, but she mentioned how they had to make a trip to King. King is a little city just a bit south of Pilot Mountain. And there's a great place called Dario. The Dario has the entryway has a giant milkshake container in the front. Yes, you actually walk. I think you walk into the milkshake. I walked into it. I can't remember now if I walked into the milkshake container. Anyway, it's a big milkshake cup up front. It must the milkshake cup actually is taller than the building. It's about 2 stories. Very nifty thing. So I thought I'd build off something involving King and well, let's see what it might do here with milkshakes. He's getting me a live ball here. Oh, have I mentioned this before? You know, this I did not do. So I was actually in the area because I just finished up the cover to the Gopher Tourist book. My goal was to have it done today. I had a little friendly competition with a friend. I actually have not let her know that I finished it. Did do that, I think. So let me go into my references, though, into people and get a face. I should have thought of that. I want to get, because if not, you tend to draw the same faces over and over and over again, especially if you're not looking for people here. Oh, there they are. Now, yesterday, for the people person I drew Don Ammerman, who was once a city council member of the city of Orlando. I have no idea why I have a picture of him in my. This is Dan Duryea, but I'm going to send you. If you're familiar with Dan Duryea, he doesn't really come across as a king, so I've got to kind of make him look. I don't want to get too much of a likeness because I do want to add in. I hope to be doing more of these lives, though I don't know how I'll do them during the week. I do have a number of projects coming up, and it sure would be neat if I could work on them a little bit here. I don't know if Dan Duryea ever had a beard. A good question. Oh, we lost a great actress overnight, Jean Marsh. really, really good actress, British actress, best known for her work involving the series Upstairs, Downstairs. Now, oddly enough, Upstairs, Downstairs is better known for being a book, but it was a very, very popular series. And basically, Upstairs, Downstairs was, in a sense, and this sounds a little bit much, but was redone uh, as Downton Abbey. Very much, very similar vein. I'm realizing I've got a lot of work to do, and today I talked to my dear friend Gracie Tuning, a major force in my life. I believe I'm going to be withdrawing from a few things I really don't want to withdraw from, but I don't have a choice. I'm just over my head, especially with this new job situation I have. If you do come in and want to type in something, I'll try to keep an eye out here. Oh, dang dirty, I did have a large forehead. There's a bit of a Severin look to it, John Severin, very sketchy. I admit that my drawing here, the very few I've done here recently, shows a definite downturn. When I was doing those lives, it really was helping keep me going, and I'm doing little to no drawing right now otherwise. It does, you do need to keep the drawing going, no doubt about that. I think I need to. This table I'm using is really not good for doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to make it work. I need to get my larger, the table I was using before here, but I'm not sure how. I'm using it in the storage room right now to put to have, there's tons of things on it. I have another table. I just don't know. And then we get back to the time problem again. I think I'm getting a weird perspective here because I'm actually well, I also don't have my computer chair I was using. So I'm actually looking up to this, not down, which helps me keep some perspective. I know some proportional issues with yesterday's drawing because of how and I can't get this propped up any more than I do. We'll get the table lower, to the lower table. Let's see what I can do. In fact, I was just thinking I could like to work on some projects. I actually can't do that the way this is set up because I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, I do have a tickle stick here, by the way. How tickled I am that you all are here. sent out a very large head for this fellow. Either I'll have to get it taller, get my, I don't know how I'm going to get my computer chair over here right now. What's really interesting is that I am putting something in on about Florida in this. Another option is to, I do have some other easel type things. I've been using this same setup, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. I just got something recently. Maybe I could use that. It might work. I'm gonna give it a try. I'm just concerned involving the projects I have suddenly find myself needing to do that I may not be quite as up to it as I'd like to think because I haven't been drawing as much. So I need to get myself back into the drawing stuff. And it's been the case before if no audience is apparent. And again, I know that it's my fault for not being, well, my fault, I haven't had a choice to do more lives, but I'll probably dump out of here early because I do need to draw, but it does help to have, oh, there's, hello, Andrea, how are you? Well, I'm glad you're here. I was saying I was talking to my stepdaughter earlier. And I was talking to my stepdaughter earlier. She was talking about going to King, North Carolina, and she had to go there with involving her young folks. And I mentioned there's a great place called the Dairy O. It's a ice cream milkshake hamburger place. Very, very neat. Very well done place. And I thought, well, I'll use that as a subject matter. And I think you tried to call me, by the way, and I'm sorry I missed your call. In fact, you called me when I was starting to do the live last night. Amber seems to be doing, just extraordinarily better than she was doing even a year ago, much less 2 years ago. Very proud of her. Got some interesting things happening involving her custody stuff, but there's far other issues going on. Banana pudding milkshake. Holy cats. I don't know. Where did I get a banana pudding milkshake? I might have. That could be an extremely good memory. That would have been a year and a few months ago, or more than that. Because I did go to Dario. I went to Dario only once during the 3 months I was there, and then I went there a little earlier than that. It may have been, I don't remember. I don't actually remember getting a banana. Not terrible. But I really really could see, I need to do something. I'm actually sitting below level to see what I'm drawing. This is the way you don't draw things, in which basically I'm drawing as if this is a flat surface, even though I have it tilted up. I need to get it. That's right. Yeah. The diner. Is it Glenn's? Yes, over there near. Um, um, on the way to Nancy Ingles. That's where I got a banana pudding. You're right. That's where I got a banana pudding milkshake. It was something like Glenn. Wow, you have a great memory. Yeah, I would never. It was on the way to where the college is. Boone. On the way to Boone. And then I met. Who did I meet there? Oh, I was going to meet Nancy Ingle there, and then we did. I couldn't. We couldn't make that work. Yeah, it's a very, very neat diner. Very, very neat diner. Hold on. Let me just try something. What the hey? Just look at this thing. I'm gonna open the bloody thing. How do you open the thing? There we go. I like open. Oh, it goes this way. Now I've got this neat little thing I got. No, it doesn't tilt any better. I do have a French easel with me. It doesn't. Yeah, that might work. Hold on a second. It's just you, Andrea. It looks like it's just you and me here. So here, I've been using this same. I use this in North Carolina. I use this in my old house. I've been using this all the time in Palm Bay. But this, let me see if I use this. I just set all this stuff up. Set all up, and I'm messing all up. Let's set this up a little differently. Yeah, now I can see this better. Ooh, that's way too close. If I could do that, move around. Hold on. Thank you. Yeah. That was a great. It is so sad we don't have those. There's so few of those around our state, in especially this here south. Very few, very few. And I could name them, and none of them are like that diner. I'm trying to think because I was just my cousin Dale was here last Monday. He's going down to Sarasota. I was going to send him to the Hobnob, but the Hobnob shut down a little over about a year and a half ago, after some 70 years, because the locals are too snobbish. They have to go to Wendy's and Burger King, and they won't support local business. Let's see this. Sorry, let me get you seasick. Hold on, let me see if I can turn this. I can move this around a little bit. Okay. That may work. Okay, good. Sorry about that. Hit a button I should have hit. I don't even know how I did it. Here we go. Back in action. Okay. Can you hear me? Oh, I can't. Oh, it may be just very low. Damn it. Hold on. Come on. All right, can you hear me? Okay, somehow turn it. Oh, I see. It's not live. There we go. Am I that low? Can you hear me? I sound so low. I sound so low, and I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I may need to start doing something with a mic or something. I don't want to be too loud. But okay, I'll do this. I'm back. Okay, good. I'm sorry. I'll try to be a little. Yeah, the other things I need to do this week involve the whole dog bite thing. Animal control wants me to call them, and there's a whole workman's comp thing I need to do. But I'm not going to be able to do it. We're opening up a Congresswoman's Kat Kamick's new office in Ocala tomorrow afternoon, but I've got to get in about 5 or 6 hours beforehand. I can't do what I did last week where I lost part of Monday, I lost part of Tuesday, I lost part, and then try to make it all up. Because I am to do 20 hours. Trying to think of what would happen if you set. So I'm just thinking of a kitty trying to get the. I do see a lot of pets while I'm going door to these doors. Mostly dogs. I do see kitties, but not a lot of kitties. I usually see kitties more stray running across the street. Yeah, I don't know why the sound went out. But what I do is I actually muted the sound and unmuted it. So maybe I somehow turning it or something. But my the cover for the Gopher Tours book is, I believe, done. I still haven't gone over. Grace actually edited it over a month ago, or more than that. I haven't been able to even look at them yet. Hold on. I'm listening to myself. I'm confusing. Uh, I've got to go over those edits, and really want Thad Altman, who's to go over the book, but when I had all that time, it was easier to throw all this stuff together. But now with trying to get 20 hours in, and then I'm being asked to do all these extra things that I'm not getting paid for, like the Cat Kamick thing, and then there's some sort of car rally going on Tuesday. I gotta drive way far south, southern part of the county, and I was asked if I could please be part of that. So, but I can't count it to my hours. And then we're doing an oil change thing on Thursday, which I'll take advantage of. So, yeah, you'd love it. Oil change, $10. I think was it $10 for synthetic, $20 for regular, or vice versa. I'm not a car person. It's something like that. And there's nothing. You don't have to do anything, because how Americans for Prosperity is, they're just constantly trying to do things in the community. And that's where I'm coming in. I've been asked to do some sort of mascot for the fellow who is running this area, who has me running around. It just got a big award for his work. So I've got, and then while I was at the Farmland Preservation, event, the one of the head guys was asking me about his daughters apparently some workout idol, popular idol, huge. I'm trying to think, I'll watch myself how to do a kitty. To do a drawing of her, maybe like a superhero, and maybe do some projects with her, and I would be paid for it. Even though I don't really even know this guy, but he knows me and knows I tend to give everything away. Word does get around about that. It's nice that he wants to pay me for it, but I don't know how I'm going to get it done with everything else. And I need to be doing this because I can, just as I'm doing this, I can see. I can feel that this is not where I was. Yeah, talking to Grace Tuning, who's known me now for some 40 plus years. Yeah, she's saying I really need to tend to myself, which is not easy for me to do. I don't want to do it. I'm not sure if that's a cat or Batman. It's one of the two, I guess. Yes, it is. Florida MCM. Oh, that's right. This is Dennis. Oh, I saw. So, yeah, I saw someone decide they weren't going to buy something, I guess. Y'all are doing a great job. Thank you so much. Dennis? Have you had a chance to go into the storage place and get some more? Or you still have more than you can deal with, besides all the stuff you have. You know, I've got some postcards here. I still mean to give you a bunch of postcards. I just haven't had a chance. Ugh. Oh, your question was no. It's a place called Dairy O in King, North Carolina. I was talking to my stepdaughter, and she had to take. I think it was Alex, her son Alex, who was a co-host here for quite a few, for what, 3 months. But Alex had to go to a doctor, and they had to take him to King. And I mentioned the Dairy O. If you look up Dairy O, it's Dairy O, and there's a number of them, but there's one in King, North Carolina. And you see what the building looks like. It's a giant milkshake. It's a giant. Part of it is a giant milkshake. It's a great. They really do a great. It's a really clean, nice place. Very clean, nice place. You know, I made a boo-boo Friday. I was driving back where I am right now, and it was dark. It was rainy, and I'm driving along 441, and there's a police car, and there's something else. I don't know, big box trucks, or I don't know why the police car was there. And so I, with the other cars, all moved one lane over. But when I moved in the one lane, I noticed that's all. The lane in between was completely clear. Well, see, I was going north, but it seemed like most all the cars had their turn signal on to turn right, which was going into downtown Ocala, which gets furiously busy on Fridays, as I learned a few weeks ago when I went to go get a meal for my friend Angie Boynton. She asked for it from a place called the Ivy House. I have killed myself to get to. I had to park 4 blocks away, up in a parking garage, walk all the way across, go get the meal, come all the way back. The whole thing was nearly 45 minutes. And to get out, I was almost in an accident a number of times because the parking garage was poorly designed. And anyway, I did not want to get back snarled into downtown Ocala. Plus, it's going the wrong way, and it's hard to turn back north once you get into downtown Ocala, into the few blocks there. So I went ahead and came back into the lane where the police car was. So I did not technically move over one lane because I'm so used to Malabar Road, and I'm so used to Minton Road there in Palm Bay, where six lanes turns to 5 lanes, turns to 4 lanes, turns to 3 lanes, turns to 2 lanes. And I thought, I couldn't remember. I thought, oh my gosh, I've got myself in a turn lane only. Because why are all those cars in a line? In fact, when I crossed the light, on the other side, you actually go up a hill. I looked back, and there were no cars with me. No other cars came north. It was that the road had been shut down. It was weird because behind me I saw all these lights, the police light. There were yellow lights on top of the whatever truck was that they were with, and then there were all the traffic lights, all the cars with the turn signals. I hope I don't get a ticket for that, but I didn't know what else to do because I'm not sure if that's a turn only lane. And I'm so used to that in Palm Bay. Lanes are constantly closed, and you find yourself having to turn. In fact, when I heard from my son Taylor that time in December, I was driving, and because I was talking to him, I wasn't paying attention, and suddenly found myself in a lane that was turn only, and I turned only, and 2.5 hours later found myself at a Circle K. I'm not sure how I got there, but it was because of the turn. So I hope I don't get a ticket for it. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, they're really bad. Well, you get used to them, but I couldn't remember if this is the major thoroughfare, 441. It's not a small road. It's a major road to have. But I can't recall if that's a turn lane or not. Coming up to Silver Springs Boulevard, which is another major road, State Road 40. I hope I don't get a ticket for not, because I did change lanes. I did go one lane over, but then I came back again. But I was all by myself. Everyone else was on. I guess just weird that no one else came with me to go north. This is State Road 4. It's not just 441. It's 441, 301, and there's another number designation, and it's called Pine Street. So it's got all these names to it. But I was all by myself on the other side of State Road 40, going up a hill. So it was not completely pitch black, but behind me was like a Christmas tree up back behind me. Anyway, I hope I don't get a ticket for that. I will definitely argue it because, but I'm not sure if that was not a turn only lane. But why else would all these cars be turning right unless that's a turn only? I don't recall. I don't drive that road. This is all new living up this way. I'm used to living up in north up here, and of course I'm well familiar with the Palm Bay stuff. Oh, Andrea, it's awful. Imagine being in. Well, you have a few of that in Deltona, where suddenly roadways turn to 2 lane, but not as bad as it is in Palm Bay. Palm Bay is awful, and I'm not sure where they are. There's not that much here, I don't think. I'll have to look. We're having a meeting at the police station a week from Monday. I'll have to check that because I'll probably come. I'll certainly come back this way. But I did, almost as if the road was closed, but there's nothing there indicating it. Yeah, you do have some in Deltona, but nothing like what's in. It's madness. And what's worse is the lights are real long all around Palm Bay. So you got long lights and roads that are all merging every few not even mile, every few blocks. The Malabar Road is in both directions. Has a bunch of lanes and then goes down to 2, all within about 3 miles. Really awful. I don't know. I know police car chased me. I don't know if they have a way to ticket, but well, it was the general development. Understand Palm Bay was built by the same people who did Deltona, except Palm Bay was done first. I think they saw the screw ups they did, and they did it better in Deltona, which is interesting because the name of the company became Deltona. I guess they like what they did in Deltona. But yeah, Palm Bay, oh my gosh. As I'm driving all around, I get irritated by stuff. I always have to think, it could be worse. It could be Palm Bay. You were the test mice. That's interesting thought. I'll draw a little mouse up here. So my Gopher Tortoise book color cover is done. I got to lay it out and get it all done. I hope to have it in by the end of the week. We'll see. There's a little mouse. I've got to figure out a mascot. Again, my drawing's so weak here, and I can see it. I can see it. I'm sorry, I haven't read all these, I don't think. Yeah, I saw you had one of the. I saw it come up because I got the notice what one of the Superman thing. I didn't actually don't think I meant for that to go along, but oh well, that's okay. I need to cut things down, and that's the way to do it. And you may have noticed I did a great opportunity to get a real good price on some Looney Tune comics, and I shouldn't be doing it, but the idea is to encourage me to do more. This is. So I did pick up some Disney. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't be. So I'm not going to do it. This is one I picked up recently. I love this cover. It's just terrific. Speaking about mice and cats, Tom and Jerry Back to School, giant comics, 25 cents. I really like how they packaged it too. They put it in a bag, they taped it, and they have a designated number. Apparently, these folks have about 30,000 comics. Who's in Palm Bay? Florida MCM is in Palm Bay. I'm up here in North Marion County, north of Ocala. Yeah, this is a wonderful cover. Wonderful cover. 1956. 1956. But I got some more coming. This is another one. This is okay. I mean, these guys were 52 pages, may I point out, 52 pages. These, they were knocking these things out extreme. Well, oh, by the way, someone else who died here is Robert McGinnis, who you've heard me, I've spoken about many, many, many times here, and all of his Michael Shane covers and all of his Dell pulp novel covers, and of course, he did Breakfast at Tiffany's and a bunch of Star Wars, not Star Wars, James Bond, Thunderball, which he part of his movie poster for Thunderball, and then also some separate picture images that were done for the film include the underwater scene shot at Silver Springs with the statues. Well, there's one where Bond is holding some scuba divers trying to stab him with something, and Bond's trying to hold him off, and the statues are in the back. Well, that's Silver Springs. So that was, and McGinnis died a week ago, I believe, week and a half ago, a little over a week ago. But he was 97. He was working all the way to his death. A company called Hard Case Crime was hiring him to do covers. But anyway, there's that shot. It's only 7:42. I haven't gotten too far. Here, I draw something else. I've been asked to do a mascot. So, I know Florida MCM's a little familiar with the work I'm doing with Americans for Prosperity. I've been asked to do a mascot with a horse, and I don't know what, it's like doing a mascot for, well, frankly, I'm glad I'm not, I'm with Republicans, not Democrats. I've discussed this actually because Democrats were trying to figure out at one time, years and years ago, I was with some, and they're trying to figure out how to use their imagery to try to become more powerful. And I said, what do you do with a donkey? And in this case, the thought is to use a horse. Same problem, except a little more so because you can at least play with, donkeys have a look that you could play with. Horses, you can't. Horses, you don't have a lot of places to go. So I don't know, I got to figure this out. Since we're having a meeting tomorrow, or opening up this. Usually when horses have been used in Ocala, it's been a side view. Of course, as I've talked so much about Neil Adams, here's an instance of having the horse come at you. Something like this, maybe. Probably end up being very graphic-y and not illustrative. We could use the now how to dress up the horse. Again, at the farmland preservation event I was at yesterday morning, Wow, that was great. That's a good old Florida there. That was that was really neat to see some down home. And I got these friends of mine to come who you not would not ordinarily see at an event like this. I'm so glad they came because they got to see. And I think they really enjoyed themselves. But I'm not sure how to make the logo work. Something, I don't know. Yeah, well, and that was all done by Thomas Nast, and why he did that, I don't know. Well, this is for Americans for Prosperity, so it's an organization. Well, it's for this area's organization. So, for example, Dennis knows how there's an effort to have a chapter in his neck of the woods. Now, hold it. I hadn't thought about someone riding the horse. That's an interesting thought. That's an interesting thought. The thing is to keep it simple, very simple. AFP. Maybe here's AFP. But the thing is, I'm not I agree with these folks about some things, and some things I severely disagree with them about. But the idea is I would be paid for this, but I only do things I agree with. So I've got a little. But then again, this is my job work I'm doing. Yeah, actually, thank you for letting me dress. How would you dress a horse there? Well, I would, but I'd have him standing up. Well, I need to look it up. I wrote something always on my. Well, maybe there's something there. Hold on. Flag. I've done this a lot. Flag like this. Well, it's not. It's really the thought is more to have a mascot. I think they like to do a costume and dress people up in it, which again, the horse thing is a real problem with that. That's a good idea about that. And the horse winning a race is good too. I want to actually winning a race. Now the other one is this fellow who's actually one of the people with the farmland preservation. We're fighting the legislature. There's some internal things going on in which the Republican Party is fighting the Republican Party involving things going on in that legislature. We ain't happy. Winning a race, Paul Revere. So thank you all. I'll take these. Revolutionary garb. If this was a Tea Party thing, yeah, that revolutionary garb would be good. Or the horse is the problem. I don't know if I should make the horse standing up. I have this thing about realism. I can cartoon. I don't like. I can draw fantasy, but it gets like there's only a point where I can. See the horse's legs. You know? Well, this is a start playing with this. Thank you. It's good. That's good stuff. I made these. Those are all good. You know. So you can with donkeys. It's easy. You just make them look. That's something else I've been seeing going door to door. Like a lot of people with donkeys. Saw them at the farmland preservation too. Some folks had donkeys there. Well, there's something you don't see in Palm Bay. Now, in Deltona, you could drive a short distance and see donkeys and critters like that. I'll play with it more. I think that's a revolutionary garb. I hadn't thought about putting some on the horse. And the idea is to have a mascot, but what if maybe the mascot's carrying a stuffed horse? It was a child. No, I'll have to. Well, at least it's a start. Better than nothing. The other one is so the person with Americans for Prosperity has a daughter who's a well-known workout person. Apparently, I don't remember her name. He'd like to see me present something, so they might do something with her as a superhero or something. And he said to look her up, and I wrote it down somewhere. I'm not even sure where I wrote it down. I gotta go find out. I may have to call him and ask her her name because I don't remember now. But anyway, all right. Well, lots of horses. Yeah, farms out near Osteen. There's farms going out back toward D-Land. There's farms actually going south to Enterprise, you know. Well, Jim Turlington is just in farmland right there. Believe it or not. Well, I did one drawing with King Dario. So if you ever in North Carolina near King, go to Dario. But I need to do more of these because I need to get my drawing back into drawing better than I am. It bothers me actually how choppy this all looks. But yeah, propping this up helped a lot. Well, that's a very good question. Well, AFP's thing is really business. It's really money business. That is, all these surveys I'm taking are all come down to bottom line stuff. But, that would be saying that the horse would be holding a bag of money, and that doesn't make sense. And how do you symbolize that? So, yeah, in a sense, I guess the strength or freedom to have the strength, reliability. I don't know if they would think so much about that. But there's also the issue that, like, the survey I'm doing is generally, for those who've been very blunt about it, says that the people have responded that the survey is antiquated, and that's true. It is. It doesn't make. It's not. Unfortunately, the survey was written, I believe, I had have to guess, was written without the knowledge of that we're overbuilt right now. And it's not, the survey is based upon us having not enough housing, whereas our problem really is that we have too much. We're way over our heads. As I say, 20 to 50 years overbuilt. We're definitely clicking more, for me almost to start saying 30 or 35 to 50 years. It's just unbelievable. Now, I talked to a lady with Pulte. I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday. Well, I was doing the survey on Friday, and she says she's seen people move into the houses they're building. Now, Pulte makes bad houses. Pulte, Lennar, they're just rat-a-tatting nothing out. Well, she said that, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but Trump, for some reason, just appointed one of the head housing people for our country. His last name is Pulte. Very bad news. Very, very bad news. So we can actually increase our problem. I say the possibilities of a crash is nearing 100%. We're just way overbuilt. We have way too many houses. Even though she's saying people, and she's saying, I said who's moving in. I was expecting her to say what she did say, which is mostly people coming out of Miami, coming north out of Southeast Florida, not Southwest, Southeast Florida, and they're coming up. And I let her know that average moving in Florida is internal, not external. They're not coming in, they're moving within. And that's what she is seeing that. Well, that means if they're moving up, the house they left behind has a for sale sign. And is it selling? And if it's not selling, then there's all those houses being filled up here are empty down there. And I would bet a lot of people, I bet if I talked to her and said, how many are coming from Palm Bay? I bet she would say quite a number, because people do not like what's going on there. Oh, you didn't know Pulte? Oh, God, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Pulte's got, they don't seem to be quite as busy. I mean, the building is much of, around here I've seen a lot of Adams, which is more of a local, they're building a ton of homes. Certainly hundreds and hundreds. There's one development alone that probably is going to have will have 300 or 400. But we're definitely seeing a decrease of people moving, and we're definitely seeing more for sale signs sitting out. If you go drive around, you'll see for sale signs that are not moving, whereas before they were coming in and out. You also notice if you own a home, and actually in your case, Andrea, you do, you're probably getting less requests to buy your home because the people who are doing that are having to start to back off because they're over their heads with houses they can buy, and they can only buy so much. Uh, well, yeah, it's. I mean, it's this is not something you're going to see happen today to tomorrow. Over the next year, you're going to see the continuing slowdown, and by the end of the year, you'll see prices adjusting, like the house I sold that was out to be resold got adjusted from 400,000 down to I believe 300 or 275,000 before it sold. That was just a couple months ago, or sold what in February, I believe. Not that wasn't a month and a half ago. So we'll see what this will continue to deteriorate, and it's going to get bad. Well, fortunately, we'll start because what people don't understand, like the Pulte lady, she only moved here 5 years ago, and I said, we'll see. She may not be living here a year and a half from now because she won't have a job and she's going to have somewhere to go, or she's going to be stuck in her house and it'll go foreclosure. This is the typical trend that occurs. Is all you have all the builders, all the people who supply the builders, all the people who are contracted involving the first ones to start to leave are the interior design folks, the trusses, some of the external stuff involving the house. Those people start to find themselves while at work. They start packing up. They start leaving. We've seen this happen over and over and over. And this is we'll start seeing that. But not tomorrow. Within the year, we'll start seeing more people moving out of the state, going to wherever they can find whatever job they can find. Because what also happens is, and Dennis is right there in the heart of that, is because when those people start to move out, they stop going to all the places that need service work. So your McDonald's and Burger Kings and all that start to see a drop. And suddenly they can't have people, so they're cutting people loose, and those people don't have jobs, and they got to go someplace else, and they typically leave the state again. If they came from out of state, they can leave again, or they go back where they came from, or they have to look for something cheap. So anyway, over the next 5 years, we'll see that continue to occur. But but I'm glad about it. We'll weed out those who really want to be here. It'd be faster if we just outlaw air conditioning. Anyway, all right. Thank you all very much for being here. I'm tired after work, but if I can get a few lives, I will here. I think Dennis would say do it here, so I can try to get back some of the people we used to have here. But it'll take a number of these to get that going again. So maybe I'll come back sometime in the next few days. You all have a good night, and I will talk to you all later. And take care. Robert Smith calling. Bye-bye.